You're watching another special edition of InfoNews Media TV, bringing you the latest insights and analysis. Rising shoplifting rates are putting Danish retailers on edge, from chocolates hidden behind counters to thieves brazenly returning with stolen goods. Tonight, we take a closer look at how businesses and authorities are responding to this growing challenge. Shoplifting defined under Danish law, Section 276. According to Section 276 of the Danish Penal Code, shoplifting is classified as theft, which is punishable by law. The statute states that anyone who takes movable property belonging to another person without their consent, with the intent to gain unjustified benefit for themselves or others, is committing theft. This includes not only physical goods but also energy that has been produced or stored for economic use. In practical terms, shoplifting involves removing items from a store without paying for them, which is a criminal offense under this law. Shoplifting surge hits. Danish retailers, chocolates hidden, clothes stolen repeatedly, and police on alert shoplifting has become a growing challenge for Danish retailers, forcing some stores to change how they display products and prompting calls for tougher law enforcement. At a Netto store in Sanderum on the island of Funen, popular chocolate brands Marabou and Mercy no longer sit openly on shelves. Instead, they have been moved behind the checkout counters to prevent theft. The cost of living in Denmark has risen, and many people steal chocolate. But stealing is never acceptable, says Jeanette Jorgensen, Netto store manager. This is not an isolated case. Across Denmark, shoplifting cases have surged dramatically. In 2024 alone, Danish police recorded over 21,000 charges related to shoplifting, a marked increase from previous years. Finns Politi, Funen Police, reports a steady year-on-year rise in shoplifting reports and charges since 2020. Sometimes one report includes multiple suspects or offenses, which is why charges can exceed reports, explains Mads Bohl, communications advisor for Finns Politi. Salling Group, owner of Netto, Bilka, and Fotex, has responded by allowing stores to decide which products to secure behind counters or with anti-theft alarms. Besides chocolate, frequently stolen items include wine, beef, and razor blades. Esbjerg shops. See repeat offenders and increasing thefts in Esbjerg. Shoplifting has reached such levels that some thieves return to stores wearing previously stolen items. Cotton Room, a clothing shop on Esbjerg's pedestrian street, has faced repeated thefts of discounted trousers priced at 500 kroner. Many people just snatch them when passing by, on foot, bikes, or electric scooters, says Anders Blatt, Cotton Room's assistant manager. In April 2025, the store caught a thief wearing a stolen jacket from a previous incident. Esbjerg municipality has seen shoplifting nearly double over 5 years, from 498 cases in 2020 to 943 in 2024, according to Sydøj Sønderjyllands Politi. Jesper Mogensen, store manager at Kvickly in Esbjerg's Brøn shopping center, describes the frustration. It's hard to run a profitable business when theft is so common. The time we spend dealing with shoplifters doesn't make us richer. Police take the issues seriously, but lack clear solutions. Søren Ronoff, deputy police inspector for Sydøj Sønderjyllands Politi, confirms the rising numbers and states that authorities are monitoring the situation carefully. We have police officers assigned to patrol Esbjerg's pedestrian areas and encourage stores to report suspicious activity to help us focus resources, he says. Calls for stronger penalties and increased police presence. Stores have implemented measures such as moving high-risk items closer to cash registers and increasing surveillance. Still, thieves often escape quickly on bicycles or electric scooters. New legislation introduced in February 2025 toughened penalties for shoplifting, raising fines to at least 1,000 kroner and ensuring fines exceed the value of stolen goods. However, many retailers doubt the new rule's effectiveness. Fines aren't enough because thieves often don't pay them. We need harsher punishments, including jail time, says Anders Blatt. Right now, it can take dozens of offenses before anyone faces jail. It feels like a joke, adds Jesper Mogensen. Conclusion: with shoplifting on the rise nationwide, retailers and police alike are struggling to keep pace. While some stores are forced to hide popular items like chocolates behind counters, others face repeat offenders brazenly returning to steal again. As Denmark grapples with this growing retail crime wave, many call for stronger enforcement and more effective deterrence to protect businesses and honest shoppers alike. Government to toughen penalties. Amid rising shoplifting cases in Denmark, the Danish government has taken the sharp rise in shoplifting cases seriously and introduced tougher penalties starting in 2024 to combat the growing problem affecting businesses and society at large. Justice Minister Peter Hummelgaard, Social Democrats, emphasizes the social and economic costs. Shoplifting shows a lack of respect for other people's property and erodes trust in society. It carries a huge financial burden for those targeted, he said. New police statistics reveal that reported shoplifting cases reached approximately 25,000 in 2023, a nearly 25% increase from the previous year and the highest figure in many years. In some municipalities like Esbjerg, shoplifting reports surged by 171%. This initiative is part of a broader government package of 11 measures aimed at fighting everyday crime, with tougher penalties for shoplifting introduced since 2024. Stricter penalties introduced. Since 2024, the government proposed and implemented that first-time shoplifters receive a minimum fine of 1,000 kroner, doubling the previous minimum penalty. Additionally, fines must always exceed the value of stolen goods to strengthen deterrence. The government also increased fines for receiving stolen goods, aiming to reduce the motivation for shoplifting by limiting the market for stolen items. Growing retail theft and business impact retailers across Denmark, from Netto stores in Funen to clothing shops in Esbjerg, report rising thefts, forcing some to move popular items behind counters or install surveillance. Local police confirm the upward trend, and businesses call for more visible policing and harsher consequences for offenders. Despite the law changes starting in 2024, many retailers remain skeptical about the deterrent effect, urging for stronger enforcement, including prison sentences for repeat offenders. Shoplifting explodes in Denmark. Stolen meat sold in closed Facebook groups. Shoplifting has repeatedly emerged as a persistent problem across Danish grocery stores, and the trend is now escalating once again. More and more products are disappearing off the shelves without ever passing the checkout. Disturbingly, some of these stolen goods, especially meat, are ending up for sale in closed Facebook groups. TV2 has gained access to one such private group, revealing posts advertising large quantities of meat at up to 50% discount near Randers. Questions like, "Who should we fetch meat for?" suggest a thriving underground market. By tracking images posted in the group, TV2 traced the stolen meat back to 3 supermarkets, all of which confirmed the items were stolen. Record high shoplifting in 2024. The year 2024 saw a grim record, the highest number of reported shoplifting cases in Danish supermarkets ever recorded. Based on data from the first 3 quarters of the year, the retail trade organization Samvirkende Købmænd projected around 28,000 shoplifting reports for the entire year, a 13% increase from 2023. This surge highlights growing challenges for retailers and law enforcement in Denmark, underscoring the urgent need for effective measures to curb retail theft and the illegal sale of stolen goods. With tougher penalties introduced and police stepping up patrols, Denmark faces a critical moment in the fight against shoplifting. But as retailers call for even stronger action, the question remains, will these measures be enough to turn the tide? Stay informed on the latest updates about shoplifting and other important news by following InfoNews Media TV. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and join the conversation.